Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'asham Yahawashai, Ba'asham Rakakwadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Akeman. This is your brother Bawan back again with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahawashai, Ba'asham Rakakwadash. All praises and glory is due. And this is another edition of in the local news, right? So the things that have been going on here in Nigeria and over these past few months, I mean, a lot of things have been happening through the spirit, and you see that with the things that are, with current events and what has been going on, not just here in Africa, but also all over the world, that we're slowly, not even slowly, swiftly moving into Jacob's trouble and the MOTB and World War III and all the other prophetic events that are about to come to pass, because 2025 is going to be a big year. Think about how we are about to end off this year, 2024, where you have heavy animosity between the US and Russia, right? With the threats of arming Ukraine, which of course, these are just those are just threats. Nothing is ultimately going to come out of it, right? But that is just even more, showing you just how deep and serious things can get, because now Russia is threatening America, Babylon the Great, with nukes. Okay, Donald Trump just pushed this new tariff on China and Russia, basically on all the BRICS nations, not just China and Russia, where they will pay an increased amount of tariffs for when for anything that they bring into Babylon the Great. You have a lot of these economical analysts that are basically telling you why that is a bad thing, because that just means that the price of the goods that are imported into Babylon the Great will go up. So there is your inflation, you know, creeping up right behind you as soon as you are celebrating this president that would boost the economy. But ultimately, this just shows you that at the end of the day, all these your so-called democratically or elected officials are all just puppets for the elites of Esau Edom. And speaking of puppets for the elites of Esau Edom, right, you have the president of Nigeria, CIA assets, Bola Tinubu. Let me chill. We have the president of Nigeria that just recently, after a 3-day visit to France, then went on to visit South Africa for binational commission meeting, right? And I think that surprises me, and the reason why I even wanted to do this video was this series of events. So you have this president that goes to visit France, and the reason why they see that he visited France was to improve international relations between France, and Nigeria, and basically facilitate you know relations with the two governments. Which is funny, because if you have been keeping up with the local news here in West Africa, you know that 5 different West African countries have basically pushed the French government out of their countries, right? They kicked out their military, even went as far as arresting some of the CEOs of all these French multinational organizations, even went as far as revoking the licenses of those organizations to operate within their borders, in order to push France as far away as possible and cut as many ties that they have with France as possible. And they even basically you know and all a lot of the mining and basically the resource mining contracts that they have with France, right? That's your Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Chad, and Senegal. Those are the 5 nations I'm talking about. And during the time that they are trying to cut ties with France, you have the Nigerian president Bola Tinubu trying to increase and strengthen his ties with France, and that shows you that hey, that is suspicious as hell, right? Because now that France has lost a lot of power, a lot of its foothold here in West Africa, it then goes on to invite, this individual, right, the CIA assets, to try and improve relations between Nigeria and France after this had happened. That shows you that, hey man, and that shows you that, hey man, at the end of the day, Esau is always trying to stay in people's business, because now he's trying to use Nigeria as a proxy to stay in West Africa, right? But that's not even why I'm doing this video. The reason I'm doing this video is because with all the things that are going on in West Africa, like I just mentioned, right, with the way in which the those different nations pushed out the French government, right? and are now working towards developing their own nations, right? They nationalized some of the different mines that were set up in the nation. So now the money and the proceeds from that mine goes straight to them, right? They are doing all these different projects now to build up the nation. And the reason, and this is all leading towards the MOTB as well, because I did a video a while back about how, the three nations here in West Africa, Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, were working on a new passport that will basically make it easier to travel in between their nations. You can travel visa free, and to make it easier for you to travel in between their nations. And it was going to be a digital passport, which leads me to Tinubu coming to South Africa for the binational commission meeting. And basically, what he came to Nigeria to do is just like he did in France, to strengthen the relationship between Nigeria and South Africa and facilitate more business and more growth between the two nations, and most especially to push for a visa-free, trip and travels between South Africa and Nigeria, sort of like how you have with the AES, and who knows, they might even start pushing. Of course, they already do. Okay, because make no mistake about this. Here in Nigeria, the digital ID system is already fully implemented, right? Your passport is connected to your national ID card. Your national ID card is connected to um your bank. Your bank is connected to your phone, and everything is connected to each other. So if anybody gets any information from you, you can easily access the rest of all that information, right? You can easily get somebody's bank account from their ID card. From their ID card, you can get somebody's bank accounts from their phone number. You can get somebody's any way that you want. That's why you see that the rise. That's why you see a rise of hacking and people losing money to hacker or losing information to hackers, because now that Esau is trying to centralize everything into one system so as to make it easier for his MOTB to be pushed throughout the four corners of the earth, and to make it easier for his MOTB to read information. And that's basically what he's trying to do, and that is making it easier for people to just hack into, you know just how just hey, hey, and they just have to get all the information that they need, because everything is now all the information is now centralized, right? And the point of me making this video is that you're now seeing that things that are going on, here in Africa, here in West Africa, are pushing for the purpose of pushing for the MOTB, right? You see the gradualism towards the MOTB taking place, where all these nations are developing for the sole purpose of trying to implement this technology. And that's really what it is, right? This current trend of development they are seeing here in Africa, I believe, and this is me speaking as a man, I was set up, right? And I believe that that the presidents of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, of course, let me say this, I'm not 100% certain, because I'll be the first person to say that Esau does not have that level of power, okay? That Esau does not have the level of power that, a lot of these a lot of you jakes in the world think that he does, right? You think that, oh, Esau can just do and undo and is the ultimate, but no, there is only one power, which is the Most High, Yahweh Shami Ashai Basham Kwadash. And the Most High, Yahweh, let's get that piece, let's get that piece. That's the book of Revelation. Oh, I already even, okay, I went to Romans. So this is the book of Romans 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. For the powers that be are ordained of the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So the elites of Esau, Edom, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, Donald Trump, even Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he was put in power by the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. There is no president that gets in office that the Most High Yahweh Shami Rashad did not approve of. So yes, the Most High wanted Trump in office, and the reason why he wanted Trump in office is because Trump would push Bible prophecy forward and would make, I will push Bible prophecy forward and make things move even more hastily. And the same thing with all these other leaders. Now, I will say this, right? The different leaders of Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, I'm not really sure, right? Because right now, what we are doing through the spirit and power, how about Shami Oshai, right? The men of the Lord, we are watching for the things that are happening on the earth, watching and praying. And it's the same situation with BRICS, right? Because you can't say, oh, BRICS are set up by the elites of Esau, Edom. Oh, BRICS are going to push the MOTV. You can't say that for certain, right? A lot of brothers are just watching and seeing what BRICS is doing right now. But of course, we still know that BRICS, right? The BRICS nations are fulfilling Bible prophecy, because Not only are they contributing to the downfall of America, Babylon the Great, they are also empowering Russia, right? That's in your Ezekiel the 38th chapter. Basically, Russia is the main power, right? The main Russia and China, Russia and Moab, they're the main driving force for the BRICS. And that's it just show and with everything that is going on, especially with how Babylon the Great just tried to threaten Russia and pull them into an even bigger war. That's Ezekiel the 38th chapter coming to pass, right? And it's the same thing with this situation here in Africa as well. That I believe, man, that these dudes, they are ultimately going to be set up to push the agenda of the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, forward. And whether they were actually set up by Esau, Edom, or they are acting independently, ultimately they're going to push the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's agenda forward. Whether it is by way of developing or building up, a Africa to the point where it will become easier for the infrastructure that of the MOTB to be pushed out here. Okay, so this is the book of Luke 21, verse 36. Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man. Right, watch and pray. And that is what we are doing right now, watching and praying because we're looking at all the things that are going on in the world, right? And watching for to see, what the Spirit of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will reveal unto us. And that's why I haven't talked about this topic for a while, even though this has been going on for months, because the Spirit wasn't really on me, right? But now, the Spirit is on me to do a video on this because, with full understanding and seeing everything that's going on with the way that a lot of these West African countries have been kicking out France and ultimately are now collecting and accepting aid from Russia and China and aligning themselves with the BRICS nations, to come against America, Babylon the Great, of course, setting up this whole agenda for World War III, but ultimately also setting up first and foremost the MOTB because the first war that will be waged is an economic trade war. Okay, and if you know about the prophecy of the MOTB, you understand why that idea is significant. Now, this is the book of Habakkuk 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And right now, man, these nations right now, man, Bible prophecy is being pushed forward, whether whether they are aware of it or not. These different states, right? These different leaders of these different nations, they are moving Bible prophecy forward, right? They are moving things towards the MOTB because at the end of the day, this is under the control of the Most High, Yahweh Sham Yahshai Basham Rakakwadash. So don't see everything that's going on in Africa and think that, oh yeah, Africa is moving towards the right direction. Pretty soon we'll be a superpower in the world as well. We'll be, we'll be able to take over the West. We'll be able to, shake off the shackles of colonization and finally develop for ourselves and all this mindset that a lot of these pro-black pan-Africanist types have, right? Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? None of that is going to happen, but rather all these men are being set up in order to push Bible prophecy. And what the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is after right now is not development, is not improvement, is not for all these African nations to develop or get better, but rather Jeremiah 28, verse 8, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence, right? And that is what is coming upon the earth: war, evil, and pestilence, lamentations, mourning, and woe. So there is no, improvement to be had here, but rather all this is just a setup for the MOTB in order to further push the MOTB on the earth, especially here in Africa, where the logistics for implementing and mandating the MOTB and also how it will operate within ESO's NWO, a New World Beast system, is extremely difficult to actually implement, and that's probably why Esau, is taking his time with this MOTB, man, because hey, once it comes out, it has to go everywhere. So Esau just making sure that everybody will be able to actually get this mark, rather than what happened with the CB19, trying to ensure that this one is actually considered a success. And when it is considered a success, you already know what that means, that majority of the earth has been or has received that sea heap, and the ones that didn't were thrown into the concentration camps, right? Where they will be judged by, where they will be judged either to be executed, which is what some of the men of the Lord love to face, right? To be martyred for this truth, or to just stay in the prison indefinitely. And it's just we talking about our survival Bible prophecy. Don't mind me. And I don't mind me ranting for that little bit. It's just that that these are the things that are coming upon the earth, right? And you can clearly see how these dudes are eventually going to be start pushing for the MOTB, because BRICS is about BRICS is the BRICS currency still hasn't come out, and I believe through the spirit and power of Hashem Yahweh that BRICS currency is going to be a CBDC, right? Hey, don't be surprised if BRICS brings out their currency and it's not fiat, it's a CBDC. Because I think that they also said that the currency will be backed by gold, right? Well, it's going to be a CBDC backed by gold, and then to respond and to tackle, with that CBDC. Hey, don't be surprised if Babylon the Great, NATO, and the EU also bring out their own CBDC. Because if you actually go and look up crypto right now, you see how crypto is moving. Bitcoin is like what 90k 90k dollars right now. That's a lot of money for one Bitcoin, man. And that shows you just you know how much this crypto technology has been improved. And now ESA is probably going to start pushing it, start using it in order to and started trying to integrate it into his MOTB technology, because that's ultimately the hold up right now. Where is the MOTB? Well, Esau is putting the finishing touches on it, right? This devil wants it out there as much as we do, but ultimately it has to be done not just because Esau wants to put the finishing touches on it, but also because it has to be done at the appointed time of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So let's go back to the book of Habakkuk, the second chapter, Habakkuk 2, verse 2. And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it, right? And the message is already established, it's already been written, okay? Now, Habakkuk 2, verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Right, and the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahshua has already appointed the time in which Jacob's trouble will begin, in which the MOTB will begin, and so on and so forth, right? And the time for these things have not yet come, okay? Which is why these things have not yet come to pass. Eventually, hey, at the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahshua's appointed time, all these things will come to pass, and you're already know it's just going to keep spiraling down from there until eventually all the prophecies have been fulfilled, right? So all this is just my speculation with the current events that are going on. Okay. So with that, once again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High Yahweh Ba'Sham Yahweh Ba'Sham Rakakwadash Wa Abad Babal, and through the Spirit of Yakim, and you are quite edified. Shalom.